I'm no spirit of the law, but I wanted to try my hand at an educational Age of Empires 2 video. Today's topic is a technology he has not covered yet, and I think you'll soon see why. Nonetheless, I've been interested in the treadmill crane technology for quite a while now, and have probably researched it far more often than I should have. So let's find out what it is and when it's worth researching. Treadmill Crane is a castle-age technology available at the university which gives your villagers a 20% faster build rate. It can be researched for 300 food and 200 wood and takes 50 seconds to research. So just based on that info, my first thought would be meh. It has a straightforward purpose, average cost for castle age, and just seems like a generic university research. But although it seems generic, not all civilizations actually get the technology. Spanish obviously don't get it because their villagers start with a 30% faster build speed. Other civilizations have had the tech taken away and given back to them in the various patches and expansions since the game was released 20 years ago. The most notable civs that lack the tech are the Huns and the Goths, which makes sense since they already have very strong forwards. So the civilizations that I think have the best reason to research Treadmill Crane in most games are those that have strong castle drop potentials. That includes the Franks, Incas, Celts, Japanese, Koreans, and Vikings. The Franks and Incas have cheaper castles. The Celts, Japanese, and Vikings can produce fast infantry to protect their forward castle, and Koreans get their castle up faster than any civilization. But how much of an advantage does Treadmill Crane give you in terms of building times? So I did a test. In the blue, we have Britain villagers who do not have access to Treadmill Crane, and in the red, we have Frank villagers who do. Roughly speaking, Treadmill Crane gives you the same impact as an extra villager towards your building time. But each extra villager you add to a building speeds up the construction by a smaller and smaller amount. The 4 blue vills worked a lot faster than the 3 blue vills, but the 6 blue vills didn't work that much faster than the 5 blue vills. Likewise, Treadmill Crane has a smaller effect the more vills you are using to build. So what about when you are building a forward castle? If you take some villagers off a resource, send them forward, and place a castle next to your opponent's resources, would Treadmill Crane make an impact? Let's watch my beautiful Archer Micro and see it first without Treadmill Crane. So Colin and Red have just clicked up about the same time, and look at that. I think Colin is actually going to send his villagers forward. He does have the stone for a forward castle, but he hasn't quite scouted that area yet. I think he has an idea that since Red isn't on that forward gold, he must have a back gold right next to it. That's a pretty big jump to make, but he's going to run into that gold. He's going to check it with his archers. Red's archers are a little bit out of the way right now. They seem to be having a reunion right by the castle, and oh no, Red, is he going to react? Is he going to react? Oh, yep. He sees it right once he loses that first villager, and that's going to cost him, but he does have the upgrades on his feudal age military to make him castle age. I don't think Colin can take this fight, and all of his villagers are somewhat stuck. But there you go. He's still going to go forward with it. I'm not sure this is the right decision by him. Scout's not going to play in too much. Scout's just scouting? No, it's just weird pathing because it's HD. And Colin realizes he should probably get some of those upgrades. I don't think he has the resources to get Elite Skirmisher. And he doesn't have too many of them. Actually, he does have the resources because this is a scenario editor, and I gave him the resources. But yeah, he doesn't look like this is a great fight for him. Red has the skirmishers in front that are taking a lot of the damage, and he's even pulling off some of his units to go attack the castle. They decided to come back to finish off blue before they leave. Colin's doing okay with his micro. It's not great, but he did pick off an extra crossbow. But yeah, he's not dodging any of those shots. I'm not sure if Red already has ballistics. It looks like he might. Don't know how far this castle is to completion. It looks like it could be there, but Red still has a lot of military, and he's cleaning up those vills very quickly. Oh, it's going to be a close one. And he already has a ram out, so this is not looking good for Colin. 3 villagers left. 2 villagers left. And just the single villager, already a Huskarl from Red's castle coming out. And the castle on 96%. Oh, that's rough. That's hard to watch. So unfortunately, my forward castle didn't work out. If it had, it wouldn't be much of a comparison. So I'm going to try one more time, but this time I will research Treadmill Crane during the 50 seconds it takes my villagers to traverse the map. Hopefully my Archer Micro will be just as mediocre to keep the test even. Take it away, Colin. And there we go. Colin gets Wheelbarrow before he sends his villagers forward, making sure to get those crossbow upgrades right away, those archer line upgrades right away, instead of waiting for the engagement to start. Deciding to use some cheats to reveal the map. Always a great idea when you're going to go for a castle drop, if cheats are on, which they rarely are, of course. And yeah, he's coming towards red before red's finished his castle this time. A little bit earlier, shouldn't make a huge difference. The Huskarls did not play a big role in that last engagement. But red still hasn't learned from last time, probably because he can't tell. Colin trying to flex with that micro that does absolutely nothing other than slow down how many villagers he can kill. You can tell he doesn't have ballistics yet. And look at that. The elite skirmishers are already coming in. Colin really needs to get to that castle. He's placed the castle maybe 2 tiles safer than he did without Treadmill Crane. I don't think that'll make a difference either. Is the scout going to troll a little bit? No, the scout nicely went around the castle. Did not block the foundation. Very kind of him to make sure the test was fair. Oh, blocking the units. Wow, that scout has got some pro plays. Even able to leave. So Colin's micro might have improved a little bit. He seems to be picking off units a bit faster. I don't know why. I think it's because Red's really splitting his army between Colin and that castle. Not sure where to engage, but yeah, Colin's army's still going to get cleaned up. Is he going to get another crossbow kill? No, he's not. But the castle is up. I want to be honest with you guys. I was really trying to take the same engagement again the second time, but I think despite all odds, my mediocre Archer Micro might have improved the second attempt. I wasn't sure if the second castle went up because of the result of that second fight or because of Treadmill Crane. So I calculated the amount of time it takes for those same lumberjacks to build the castle safely at home with and without Treadmill Crane. It turns out it's an 8-second difference. That is a wider gap than I was expecting after the town center build test, and it brings me to believe, and feel free to disagree with me in the comments, that the first forward castle would have been successful if I had researched Treadmill Crane. It ended up at 95% completion. That's really close, and I think that extra build speed would have pushed it up to success. But that's just my 1500 level opinion. Let's see what the pros have to say.
What is that upgrade?
That's a good answer.
Yeah, I literally don't think I've ever researched it.
Yeah, me too.
What's up, Colin? When did you do Treadmill Crane? When you remember it exists, man. It's such a weird upgrade. I don't know. It doesn't really have too much application. I guess it's just if it's late game, you might as well get it.
After all that testing, I think Treadmill Crane can be considered more of an economic bonus rather than a military strategy. I will probably research it more often than murder holes or fortified walls, but only if I'm floating resources and don't have the buildings to spend those resources. I think that's the perfect case for when to get Treadmill Crane, when you have the resources but don't have the buildings in which to spend them. If you like this kind of educational video, make sure to subscribe to Spirit of the Law, because these are a ton of work and he does them much better than me. Next time, we will be covering my favorite unit, Siege Towers. Until then.